I think I always made the comment that once a Miller, always a Miller.
Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! Good heavens, he's done it again! Another promotion for the big man.
I've got 12 bottles of champagne in my office and we're going to drink them all night.
Do me a favour, drop me off in Rotherham.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to New York Talk. This is the Rotherham United podcast. Thank you all for being with us as we preview the first game of the new year at New York Stadium. We'll talk about Bolton Wanderers, the best team in League One, obviously, and the best manager League One's ever seen as well, obviously. We'll talk about all that in the next hour or so, and we'll talk about Millermen 25 on Saturday as well. We'll cover that. Mick, start of all off. Hello, Mick.
Hello, how you doing, mate?
I'm very, very good. Thank you. You?
Yes, I'm all good. Looking forward to seeing Ian Evatt on Saturday. Can't wait. Be in the presence of greatness.
You're going to get there early and watch him come off team coach.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can get his autograph. Ian, sign this, Ian. Defo.
Yeah, like it. And Tom's back. How you doing, Tom?
Yeah, good, really good. Looking forward to the game. I think the game is going to be great on Saturday. Don't know why, I just have a feeling.
Fair enough. You might be the minority in that one, but we'll come on to that.
Oh, yeah.
And Kev's back. How you doing, Kev?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate. Tired, but good.
What do you mean you've been doing nothing? I ain't saying you're not seeing anything. You've been doing anything recently. We have loads of people in the comments. We have Martin Holland, Fishman Save, YouTube viewers, Paul Rhodes, Kelly Bobs, Richard's with us as well. Harry says it's going to be tough against the best team in League One. Absolutely. Darren Cook with us, as is Steve Gauntly. We are going to start with the Millermen 25, though. We have Kev's little appearance from Calendar on. We're going to watch this clip and then we'll talk about what's happening at Millmoor. We'll see in a second.
Had the chance to indulge in some nostalgia this weekend. The club have invited supporters to help record an updated version of their anthem, Millermen, for charity.
Well, a group of fundraisers have teamed up with local musician LPMC and legends from the 1980 Championship winning side to record the chorus of the famous club song. Fans will have the chance to join in with the recording at Rotherham's former ground Millmoor on Saturday, and all money raised will be donated to Rotherham Hospice.
The key thing is a unique, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, my first season watching Rotherham in 1980, so it's the year I remember watching my heroes like Brex and Ronnie and that playing on this pitch. So when they came with the idea, I thought, what a great way. The song was actually played at my dad's funeral, so it means a lot to me, as it will to a lot of people in Rotherham. So to actually be able to have an LP or an EP in a few months' time with their voice on it, on the Millermen track, is unbelievable. The hospice is so close to everybody's heart. We've all been affected by it, and in the past and the future. So to get behind it, raising a lot of money, hopefully we can touch the 20,000 barrier, but £10,000–15,000, amazing.
There we go.
Excellent.
I suppose the first question is, Kev, are you available for autographs on Saturday afternoon?
I might not be there Saturday, mate. I've got a casting for Emmerdale, actually. I might not be there. They want some camp farmer or something, so I said I'd put my name forward.
So let's talk about where we are, Kev. Saturday afternoon, so straight after the game, just kind of run through where we are and the money raised so far, and just talk us through it.
Yeah, sounds. So obviously, everyone knows what the project is. It's going about the song and whatnot. We all know what we're going to be singing. Uptake's been brilliant. We set an unrealistic target, probably 20 grand. But in all fairness, by a lot of people's going to pay on the day. I've had quite a few people comment saying, "Can I turn up at Millmoor and pay the £20?" Blah blah, which is fine. We're up to I think it's about £8,300 so far with a gift aid, which is unreal. So it's probably going to be at least 350–400 people there. Plus, we've said, obviously, if you want to bring a couple of friends or family members, please do. We want as many people there as possible. So, yeah, straight after the game, 2:30-ish, we're going to be recording it. Stuart from Let's Go Media, he's going to be recording it. So, if everyone wants to, I put some tweets out earlier, meeting point, if everyone's swung about there for 2:30, Ronnie Brex and the 1980 squad are going to walk over in unison and do a bit of recording, get in. The Booth family have been... People have got their own reason, they're all thoughts behind them, but they've been brilliant. much better than our own chairman. So let's just leave that one there. They're putting in a free bar for people to come and have a drink when they get there. They've had gritters out there making sure the pathways are clear, the car park's clear. They couldn't do any more. So the plan is to get into Millmoor, grab your free beer. Brex and the 1980 squad are going to have a chat on the microphones and tell people about some memories of Millmoor, stuff like that. Then we should hopefully be singing about 3:45ish.
Excellent. I'm going to post the link in the chat as well. So if anybody's watching live and hasn't, the link's there. You can go to that and follow the instructions to do so. We will be there. Tom won't be because he's not in Rotherham. But the rest of us will be there.
Excellent.
Make this, I don't know about you, Mick, this first time I'm going back to Millmoor since that last day, since it ended against Barnet. So just for, even if the extra bit's amazing when we're singing Millermen, but to go back to Millmoor the first time when were it? 2007, it's almost 20 years, 18 years it's been. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, can't wait. I can't wait. It'll bring back some memories, good memories and bad memories, and just a lot of nostalgia. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's why we've done it. Obviously, like I know the calendar guy said LPMC. We all know it's Lee McMahon. He's an absolute legend. Obviously, when he first appeared on one of Legends Nights, it just went from there. Really, it's so good, and it's just gonna be like I said. It's a one in a lifetime opportunity. This will probably never be repeated, and I'll never get a chance to sing on a record again and sing on a song what means so much. So many people, like me personally, played my dad's funeral. Got videos of my son singing it when he was 2 years old. It means for every person's got a different reason loving Millermen and loving Millmoor. So I can't wait.
Yeah. No, exactly. There'll be Rotherham fans in 50 years probably still listening to Millmen. So you'll be on it forever, basically. Neil Lewis asked, any idea?
Most three might still be here. Mick won't.
No, I'm only 27. Where about?
Neil Lewis asked, Kev, will anybody, do you know once it's done, will it be able to be downloaded, or will it just be kind of on the EP LP that comes out?
It's going to be the EP, but we are going to bring some CDs because we appreciate not a lot of people, not everyone's got an EP. I've not even got an EP player, which I'm still back. I still want a copy because it's just to have a copy. But we are going to bring some CDs out as well. And obviously, if the limited edition run do sell out, we have got scope to get some more. So don't worry. If you want it, we can get it here.
Cool. Emma was yes. Can you pay on the door where to pay at Millmoor? Yeah, you can't you, Kev? You mentioned that, so yeah.
Yeah.
We've done with the hospice people guiding people on that. They always do. They're great, aren't they? So they'll be there, won't they?
Yeah, they're gonna have cash buckets as we used them at Millmoor anyway. So we've got some cash buckets still left over from 2007.
Think about it. Still coming from last time we were there.
But they have got card machines as well. So anyone want to pay on card, they can pay on card.
Excellent. Look forward to it. Well, I'm going to look forward to it. Harry's saying so much nostalgia happening at Millmoor recently. Hope the club can organise a game there. It'd be nice to go and watch Rotherham United at the old ground. Don't hold your breath. See. Matt Miller, Tavella's singing its heart out, bring back the tears. Yeah, it goes. It's
there will be some tears. I'm sure there will be some tears.
Yeah. I think so as well. I agree. Right, let's bring it back to the present day. Like I said, we got Bolton Wanderers coming to town. It's 12:30 kickoff, so it's kind of the main game in League One on Saturday, I suppose. So Sky Sports picked it as 3 games unbeaten. Mick, we're on a little bit of a run, a little bit of positivity around the place. We'll come to the January transfer window in a little bit, but it's a big game. It's a bit like the Mansfield game going into it, where we were 3 games unbeaten. You go into this with hopefully a positive mood, and we can build on this in a tougher game. Huddersfield was a tough game, but it's a big game to get a result. We need to continue this route. We need to continue building and using these springboards that we keep presenting ourselves with. It's a really important game for me.
Yeah, is it an important game, Matt? You think?
I think it's quite an important game. Did I get that point across?
I had a feeling that you thought that. Yeah, I mean, obviously the weather's not been great. But I've been down to the club today and had a chat with the groundsman, and he says that if we all shout loud enough on Saturday, they'll leave the tent up so we can't see pitch as well. So it'll be all right. It'll be a decent game. Yeah, it is important because we're unbeaten. It's a mini run. It's only 3 games, I guess, realistically. or is it 4? Can't remember, 3 or 4 games, whatever it is. Only 1 victory in that, but it 2 away games and 2 clean sheets in the last 2 games. So little steps, baby steps. But we're playing best team in League One, as we've already talked about. So yeah, they're going to bring a lot. I would have thought. There's a decent atmosphere. We've got to kick on. We have to kick on, and it's down to us as well to get behind the team now. It is down to us as much as it is to them. There's no excuses. So yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. The cynic in me. We've been around football for many years, and you get these little glimpses of something positive happening, and then it comes along and kicks you between legs, doesn't it? And I just hope that that's not going to happen. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not holding out any sort of hope one way or the other, either positive or negative. I'm just going to go and see what happens, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. And to be fair, Kevin, last 3 games, and particularly the last 2, the Lincoln and the Huddersfield game, we finally got something to kind of cling on to. The mini run at the beginning of December, we were 3 games unbeaten, but it was okay. I think the last 2 games, particularly there's something to hang on to, and there's a reason to be optimistic going into this game. It's not, we might win. There is a reason to be optimistic based on the last couple of performances that we can kick on this time, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. And I have been, we've all got his own opinions on Steve Evans and the tactics and all that, but I think the last couple of games, I have actually seen a big change. I have seen some form of shape and some form of tactics, which is encouraging. We're still nowhere near the levels we should be at. But, it gives us hope, and I think that's what we need. And I think Saturday's game, we're playing unlike Bolton. I'm not sure of them this season. Normally, they're always up in the top 4 or 5 all season, then drop off at the last bit. This time, the 10th, and they've had some mixed results. They've played teams similar to us, to be fair. Like they beat a poor Lincoln team, who I thought was shocking against us. They beat them at home. Then they got smashed by Barnsley. They were only 2-1, but they should have lost by more. Drew Wickham, lost at home to Wigan, I think it were. Beat Mansfield, but again, Mansfield were piss poor. So the mixed bag results, they're certainly there for a tech. Normally, when we play Bolton at home, I'm concerned with thinking we're in for a tough game and who knows what's going to happen. But I'm quite confident on Saturday, to be fair. I think we've got a very good chance of picking up another 3 points.
Yeah, they seem the perfect example of inconsistent League One team. They've got beat up some against some really decent teams, but they've also got beat up against average teams as well. But then they've done some all right results. Tom, you've just come from speaking to a Bolton podcast. What vibe did you get from those guys? Are they happy, positive, nervous? What vibe did you get?
Very, very split. Very, very split. It's a couple people saying for us to win 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, whatever. A couple of them saying they're going to win, 3-1, whatever. But I think they collectively agreed that they're not doing as well as they should be, which I think is probably just the premise for every team in the division. I don't think any team is really doing what they expect, apart from Birmingham. But for obvious reasons, they are walking the title. I just think I think there's very mixed opinions on Evatt as well, but they're all very positive with this Joel Randall signing. So yeah, this is why I think it should be a good game. I think it's 2 teams that are coming into a little bit of discomfort with managers, form, where they should be, where they are, and I think it's a game to prove a lot. And I think if players don't see that, then what I'm trying to say is I think players will see that there's a lot to prove and there's a lot to gain from winning this game. So I think it'll be a game where it might be scrappy, might be low quality at times, but I don't think it'll lack effort or desire, which I'm looking forward to. I think it could be feisty.
Fair enough. We did speak to a Trotter Chatter podcast. That will be out tomorrow, the scouting report. That we asked about Ian Evatt. I know we talked last episode about Ian Evatt having shares in the company that own Bolton Wanderers. It turns out that is true. Apparently he owns shares but doesn't have a vote on matters that relate to Bolton Wanderers. So yeah, it's just interesting to me.
So he's not got picture chairman's wife after all.
Might have both. You don't know.
I've got some spare anyway. Don't worry.
We got a comment here from Martin Rush who said we're still not scoring enough goals. He says we're still not good enough. The goal thing is an issue, and the creative opportunities is an issue. I still think the second half against Huddersfield was very, very good, but we still lack that killer instinct, don't we? It's blindingly obvious. It's same against Lincoln, where I thought we were really good against Lincoln, although they were rubbish. We're just lacking that edge, and it doesn't feel like something that's just going to click and happen. I think we need some new players in to fix that, to be honest.
I don't know. You've got the players with the capability of scoring a bag full, aren't you? You know, we've got them. They're there. They are there. They're just not doing it at the moment. Even the players that have been filling that front line in the last 2 or 3 games, in Nombe and Wilkes and Andre Green, we've not seen anything of, which is a little bit of a surprise, a little bit of a shock. These are all players capable of scoring goals. We just not. It's the final ball, isn't it? You know, it's that final third where we're really struggling now. You know, we defensively we've been much better. We've been involved in the midfield, so that part of it's much better, and it's allowing us to defend better. But we're just not creating enough. We're not getting the ball into dangerous areas. That's got to be the next step forward. It's taken us 23 games, but we finally got to a stage where you feel reasonably comfortable defensively. And I don't want to tempt fate and end up conceding 4 on Saturday, but you know what I mean. Defensively, it feels better. It feels more organised. It just feels right. So, and like I said, the midfielder involved. We just need a little bit of a spark up there. Maybe 1 or 2 goals will set us going. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. We haven't realistically got anybody over and above the 3 for me of any quality over and above the 3 that have played the last 3 games. With the exception of Andre Green. So I think Clark Harris is just a spent force. It feels, you know, we feel like we're playing with 10.5 men. You know, he's kind of half a player, isn't he? He's slow, lumbering, and he's dropping too deep constantly. He's not getting himself in dangerous positions, or we're not giving him the ball when he's in a dangerous position. And Hugel's, you know, he's not gonna put the effort in, it would appear. So maybe that's somewhere that you just need to look at strengthening. But we have got the players, so give them the ball in dangerous areas.
Yeah. Phil says strikers look like strangers even after all this time. Nick says maybe a start for Jonathan Clark Harris with them having a tower of a bloke at the back. Yeah, that's Santos, who is an absolute monster. But the Clark Harris issue was most obvious last week, Kev, because I thought Nombe and Wilkes worked hard and put the effort in and closed down wherever they possibly could last week. And then when Clark Harris came, I know it was late on the game, but as soon as Clark Harris came on, it was really obvious. The fact that those 2 ran loads highlighted Clark Harris when he came on, because it was so different. And he's now a problem because he's here for the next couple of years, and Evans doesn't look like he knows how to play him.
No, I don't know if he should touch ball against Huddersfield, if I'm honest. He came on and just potted around for 5 or 10 minutes. By the way, he's a really nice guy, because Lee McMahon actually, he said he had car problems overnight. And Jonathan Clark Harris pulled up behind him and gave him an hand. So he's a nice guy. just sadly a bit shit at football at the minute. So he's a nice guy. But it's a shame, because he has got, well, he's had a lot of quality. I just think sadly it looks like his knees run back to front half the time. He's just running. He's like treading treacle. He looks completely different player to what I'm sure Evans thought he was signing, and it is a worry because he's on it. Like I say, he's on a decent contract. He's probably on a decent wage. And it's another one we could be potentially stuck with, like Hugel. It's a worry, the strike force. Like I say, we've got Wilkes and Nombe and Green as well. Absolutely, I love all 3 of them. I think they're both quality in all their own different ways. But I think Evans will be signing 1 or 2. I can see that on his top of his list, 1 or 2 strikers. Pointless bringing McGurkin back from Yeovil initially. I don't know why I did it. Complete waste of time and waste of that poor lad's 2 months of his life. He's never going to get back his form again. So again, poor management by Evans on that, but lesson learned. But yeah, I can see a couple of strikers coming in, and Clark Harris could drop down the pecking order even more.
Yeah, I think so as well. Nick Carrott says hopefully we can see the Jono we saw against Northampton. Yes, Tom. But Northampton were very, very bad. I mean, very, very bad. You look at their subsequent results afterwards as well. I don't think we should be judging. I know he scored 2, and that's his job, but where does Johnson Clarke-Harris fit in? I know that's a big question. Does he fit in anywhere? You know, if you put yourself in Steve Evans' mind, are you saying, right, get somebody and then Clarke-Harris as a bit part player, which he was for Peterborough? Or should Evans be finding a way to get the best out of him somehow?
I think, I think Clarke-Harris is a fantastic finisher, and I think he's a really good in the box. He'll finish anything, but outside the box doesn't offer a lot. And I think Northampton was a big case of they are really bad, and I think we turned it on a lot. He won a lot in the air, and the flick-ons were to people who were running in behind. But with Nombe and Wilkes up front, and it doesn't have to be them two, it just has to be 2 players who are quick, high energy, really just, work the back line. You just see a lot more rewards there. And in that game, I thought we created more clear-cut chances than we have done in the last, 5 or 6 with Clarke-Harris up front. And again, it's not to say that he's a bad player, and it's just, and I think he's the best finisher at the club. I just don't think we're playing to his strengths. And currently, the way that Evans likes to operate is let's throw 11 players out on the pitch and see which ones that stick and work together best. And currently, this is the best 11, so he doesn't fit. The way that you change it now is you change a Nombe or a Wilkes for a like for like. You could argue Green is that, but even Green, I don't think gets much of a sniff at the minute, unless he's played out wide. So I think it's tough to sort of break into this team. But yeah, Clarke-Harris's mobility is just what sets him sets him away from the other two. Is just he's a fantastic finisher, best in the club. I would have backed him. Wilkes had 2 or 3 one-on-ones or decent chances, we'll call them. And I would have backed Clarke-Harris to score all 3. Having said that, I don't think Clarke-Harris is in all 3 of those situations. So it's you got to take the rub with the salt, and I just don't think he's got that mobility to play the way that we sort of need to play at the minute. If he can somehow figure a way to bring him back in and have him, operate in the box, fantastic. But at the minute, when he plays, he drops to in our half, and he's not going to do much there. He's a decent playmaker. Like, I'll give it him. He's okay when he gets on the ball in our half, but it just leaves nobody else up front, and we really struggle with that. So I don't think there's a way back for him at the minute as it stands with the way that we play.
Yeah. Nick adds Bolton play the way they like to play football. So going back on what he said, pacey players who can press, work hard, maybe what we need. Yeah, but Ian Evatt has one style of play which he doesn't change from, so that he will be trying to keep the ball, trying to keep a bit of possession. So Clarke-Harris isn't the guy for that. You need somebody who can get in the face a little bit. So Clarke-Harris is not the guy for that. We'll come back to the game in a minute, but we're 23 games into the season now. We're now officially halfway through the season. 12 points off the playoffs, I think 8 points off relegation zone. So we've thankfully moved away from that side of things. First half of the season, kind of not review, Mick, but give us a kind of grade. Where is it been miles worse than expected, which I think is going to be the answer. Or are you going to surprise me and say something else?
Yeah, I want an out of 10 rating.
Go on, give me a 10. Go. We'll do that out of 10 rating so far.
2.
2.
I got a strong 2. I mean, I can't genuinely, given the slating that I've given, we've all given this team over the past 23 games. Can you really go higher than that? It's been way, way, way below the standard that we expected, that we wanted, that we should be producing. Given the quality of players that we've got, way, way below. So it's improved over the last 2 or 3 games, maybe 3, maybe 4 games. But it is what it is, isn't it? It's just not been good enough. And if you think it has, tell me. But that's my view. That's my view.
Yeah, I was laughing at comments. You're all right.
Yeah, I was as well. Yeah. No is the answer. No, I love it.
Kev, would you give it 2 as well, or could you argue any higher?
I'm going to go old school GCSE grading. I'm going to go D-.
Okay.
D-, yeah. I'll even write on it, must improve. I think that's all I'll say on that one. We're just, end of the day, right? I don't know. It's almost like the improvement I've seen over the last 2 or 3 games, I'm take a lot of heart and take a lot of promise from that. I do think there's been an improvement. And if we've had a slow start, he signed a lot of players. I'm going to give Evans a bit of grace here. He signed a lot of players. Are they starting to gel? We'll see over January. We've got apart from Birmingham, we've got winnable games. So we'll see. It could be the turnaround we need, and in 3 months' time, we might be a A- or even an A. Who knows?
Yeah, possibly. Nick's saying a 3 or 4 out of 10. Disappointing today, but maybe a turn in form. More positive, I think most people will say. Tom, what do you go?
I'd give similar. I think we set our expectations a lot higher than maybe we should have done, and I don't think that's anyone's fault. I think the manager did that, and I think the players that we signed sort of did that as well. But it was a team that, like Kev said, it was a new team, and I think we sort of expected to go straight back up and gel immediately and all this. And I think we did expect a lot from that, and we've not had it in previous seasons when we've gone straight back up. We sort of had the similar squad, so I think it was sort of optimistic from us. So that's why I'll probably go for a 3 or 4, just because I still think these last 2 games that I think, although we don't create a lot, still we're starting to create better chances, and we're also starting. We look like a real defensive, resolute side. So I'd argue that this is the time that we can sort of try and flip it. I hate the springboard phrase because we use that too much, but yeah, I think we absolutely. I think if we stick with the way that we're playing now, I think there's enough fight and passion there to sort of turn a corner. Whether it's the corner that we need to turn, I don't know, but I think we will turn a corner. And I think we're starting to get hard to beat, which I think is a good thing. I'd argue, but we still need to play better in the final third.
Yeah, we do. Soccer says 2. Darren Cook also says 2. Scotland only 2.5 says awful. Paul Rhodes says I think 2 is generous. She's looking at -3. Yeah. Fair enough. Matt Miller says, didn't Evans say December was make or break? Evans says a lot of things. I think that does ring a bell that he said December was make or break. He also said we'll be in touching distance of the playoffs by the end of the month as well. I don't know why he says these things. But he does, and he'll keep saying them because that's the kind of guy that he is. Unfortunately, I might not be the right way, but it is what it is. The window is here, Kev. Relatively quiet business so far, just outgoings. Jim McCart left. McGuckin's gone on loan, back on loan, which is a good move for him. It's a big couple of weeks, this though. If this season's going to be rescued somehow, we need some players. And Evans says 3, but I think it could be as much as 5 or 6. I think it's going to be busier than he's making out to be.
Yeah, I do. I think it'll be certainly the midfield and forward line. He strengthens. I mean, he's got rid of McCart. I think it's a good bit of business. I never rated him that much anyway. So we've got a bit of money back for him and off the wage bill. The concern for me is obviously nobody knows what goes on behind the scenes, but people do talk, and you hear rumours about potential. Evans has been told to cut the wage bill somewhat. Or, I don't know. I don't know who they're going to sign. I don't know who they're going to be able to afford to sign without. Personally, I pay Ugle up. I can't see it. I can't honestly. Apart from unless we play Newcastle under 9s again, he ain't going to get a game. He's not playing again for Rotherham United. His time's up. I'd pay him up. It's going to cost money, just like the what we've done in the past. But we've got to get some fresh blood in, and we've got to get some energy. For me, we need to get some energy in midfield. I think that's what I looked at Huddersfield game of the day. First half, they tore us a new arsehole. We could not get near the ball. They would do little interlinking passes, triangles, pinging it out wide. The ravages first half, and that's what we miss. It's almost like we need a Scandinavian or two in midfield who can, like Bod Varson at Bolton or someone like that, a little ferret in midfield. I think that's what we're missing. The Wiles and the Rathbones of the world. We've not got them anymore. Jamie Lindsay, for example, Sam Klukas, all these players would fit quite comfortably in our team and make our midfield a lot stronger, which would potentially then create more chances for the forward line. So it's going to be a very, very interesting period, yeah.
Yeah. This, Nick, the only thing I've seen up here is Clucas, but just a rumour. Yeah, Clucas has now been linked with everybody in League One, having been released by us in the summer.
There were reasons Steve Evans released Clucas. We could have kept him. We had option to keep him. Something, whether they had crosswords or something. He didn't release Sam Clucas for his football ability, put it that way.
No. Sam Clucas strikes me as the kind of guy who will talk back, and Evans don't like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the reason why. But we don't know. So Harry says he'd love him back. Yeah, I would as well. It's sadly not going to happen while Big Steve's here. Harry says when he says 3, he thinks it means 3 permanents. The rest would be loads. Scotland saying left back, right back, centre back, attacking midfielder, inverted winger, and centre forward needed. I think the number one on the list for me, Mick, and I think we said this last week, is a Michael Smith type striker. Not somebody who's going to get 30 goals a season like Jonathan Clark-Harris is meant to. We need somebody with a bit of mobility who can hold the ball up and link the play up a little bit. Again, not perfect. I'm not asking for the perfect striker, but just somebody in that mould who can just help us up front, because that's what we're desperate for. We need to get rid of Mallet looks out wide because he'll do a job, but he's not good enough as a striker. And we need that focal point. I won't say target man because I don't think we need that little focal point up top. I think that'll help Nombe. I think it'll help Wilkes. I think it'll help in behind with Powell and everybody else. I think that striker it's not the missing link, but it's a massive part of it.
It is, but the problem you've got is coming across one at this level that's going to slot straight in, because they're either lumbering giants who gunted to Bull's backside with a banjo, or they're just out of our price range. So it's really difficult. We dropped lucky with Smithy, but it was straight. Smithy didn't drop straight into it. It took quite a while before he really hit his straps with us. And again, I don't think Evans and Rayner are the type of people who would be able to sign a Michael Smith off Bury's bench and bring him on the way that Warney did and into the player that he made him. That's just not their style. That's not what they do. For me, they just slot players in and hope they hit the ground running. And that, I don't think we can afford a player like that. So we don't want a target man, do we? I don't want a target man necessarily, because if we get a target man, we're going to go back to that long ball. We're missing midfield out. And we're going to start going back to where we were at the beginning of the season. We're starting to play through the middle a little bit now. And you talked about Johnson Clark-Harris earlier on. Because of the difference in the way that we're playing, with the much less of the long ball, it may give him the opportunity to stay further up the pitch, and not coming to collect that hoof out of defence, which is essentially what he's been doing, and the others, trying to feed off the scraps off him. So it might suit him, but the issue is once you put him up there, that's when the long balls start again. So it's like, what's where are you going to go with it? I don't think we can afford one that's going to be good enough to hit the ground running, personally. That's just my view. Don't know.
Yeah. Scott Kent, Michael Robertson saying Mikel Mandron from St Mirren. Scott Kent, 1 goal in 20 games. 30-year-old. 1 goal in 20 games.
Michael Smith did have a similar scoring record at Bury though when we signed him, and
he was a lot younger though, wasn't he? I think Kev,
mid-20s, I think. Maybe.
Yeah. But that kind of sums it up a little bit. I mean, I don't know the bloke. I've never heard of him. We've never seen him play. He may be a Michael Smith type player or whatever. But that's the sort of level that you're looking at. 30-year-old who is coming, although not at the back end of his career, he's approaching the back end of his career. Not particularly prolific, coming from a league where the level isn't great. That's where you're going to be looking at. You're going to need a management team who are going to be able to get them up to speed pretty quickly, and we haven't got that. That's not what their game is, for me anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. Matt Miller says, agree with Mick, wouldn't a Michael Smith player invite hoofball? And I suppose it can do, Tom, can't it? And that's the issue, and that's probably what maybe Evans didn't want to go so long ball when we're doing Clark-Harris. But at the same time, when we don't have that player, it's hurting us either as well. So it's finding the right balance. And for last time when Evans had Ravel, we did go too long sometimes, but it also works sometimes. So it's about getting the right guy in to kind of fit the balance that we are trying to play with at the minute and hope we don't go backwards.
Yeah, and I also thought Smithy could run the channels, and I think Nombe is probably one of the best channel runners in the league if you give him the right service. In regards to and I don't think he's entirely less physical as people think. Having said that, yeah, I mean you're right. I think you always invite hoofball when you're in a Evans team. I think it's really tough to not. But I think hoofball can be really quite well, can be effective if used right. And I think if you use it in the channel areas, but I mean, there's a difference between hoofball and giving it to your striker to flick on or bring down. But what we do is just chip it into their throat and expect them to do something with it with 3 men around them. So it's not exactly like hoofball's this awful tactic and stuff. I mean, it's not nice to watch, but it can be effective. But for us, it's not even. It's just I don't understand what they're trying to do with it. It's chipped into Wilkes's upper chest or his throat, and you expect him to bring it down or flick it on somehow, and then if he does bring it down, he's got 3 men around him, and then he's going to lose it, and it feels really sort of not thought through. Yeah. And if it is thought through and effective, it will a lot of defenders in this league probably aren't used to it with all the tippy tappy round stuff. But I mean, yeah, we need to get better at that. But I think we play it on the floor better personally at the minute. I just think we have the players that suit that ability, and I agree. I think it was you, Kev, that said it. We need another Wiles type player. I think Powell's good, but he's not that. I mean, look at watching. There might have been a little bit of controversy with him against Huddersfield, but I thought he was their best player. Maybe a little bias creeping in as well, but I thought he absolutely changed defense to attack. He looked threatening. His corners were good. We need a player like him who can sort of do it all box to box. I think Mick Williams is probably a better Lindsay. I've said it before. I think he's probably similar type of snappy player. And we definitely need a Rathbone as well. But I this is just off of one game. But we definitely need someone that can link that defense to attack. And for me, Powell's not that. He's not got that technical aspect or creative aspect in the final third. He works hard. He's decent on the ball, but he's not that creative, flicks it round or will sort of drive at defenders and win a corner or score a goal, which Wiles did for us. So I think that's what we're really missing. And then other than that, yeah, of course we need someone who can put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan Wilson has grown in recently. I think, the game has done really well, to be fair, along with a few others. Right, let's touch on Hakeem Adopin. Nick Kamak says, Paul Davis suggests from experience he expects Axe to leave, given that he's not commenting on his future. So do we sell as a club or wait until he inevitably leaves in on a free that the club can't win? Well, if I know Rotherham United like I know Rotherham United, Kev, he'll go in summer. They're absolutely nothing. We'll finish 13th and he'll go for nothing in summer. Could you see us trying to get rid of this window? I
don't think so. Double-edged sword, isn't it? Even if we sell him, we'll probably sell him for 10 bob and a conker. So you may as well just keep. I dare say, where do you sign Hacks from? Falkirk or some other
Hamilton, I think.
Hamilton. So it's probably only on a couple of grand, £2.5 a week anyway. So he's not going to free much a wage bill. Realistically, what would someone pay for him? Because he's a absolutely top draw bloke, to be fair. He does a lot for the hospice and all that, but he's a shadow of the player he was last season and the season before. I don't know what's happened. Maybe he's just low on confidence, playing in a team low on confidence, but he looks a totally different player. So what value would we get? 200, 300 grand? It's just not worth it for me selling him. I may as well keep him. He's on low wages. Keep him, utilise him, and let him go for free like we usually do in the summer.
I suppose what probably stops anybody paying decent money for him, Mick, is that he has done 2 years being really good as essentially an attacking midfielder. And now he's doing quite well at being centre half. So if you're a buying club, you don't want somebody who's quite good at both of those. You don't want to necessarily around for those two so far away positions. You kind of want a really good centre half for a really good attacking midfielder. So a buying club, if you want to try and maximise a fee, it's difficult to kind of justify any decent fee for that kind of player, although he is obviously very good at both.
He's a summer transfer window player, isn't he? It's not a winter transfer window. He's not just to add to your squad where you need to strengthen here or there. He's a player that you're gonna look at in the summer that you can use and utilise as cover across the pitch almost. So I think it's difficult, isn't it? Because if we were sort of 8 points away from playoffs and 12 away from relegation, if it was the other way around, I'd be saying we need to keep him because we might be able to. He's playing really, really well in central defence. Central defence, the defence is settled. Let's kick on. But we're not. But I think that's what. I think if I had to, if you were to force my hand one way or the other, I'd say keep him and let him go in summer for free. Because in the meantime, you still possibly. I mean, it's a long shot, obviously, but you might have an opportunity to get him to re-sign. You might not. You don't know. If you get rid of him now, you haven't. 100% haven't. 99% chance you haven't, but you still got that 1% if you keep him. And he plays well, he fits in, the team does well, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, keep him, I think, and just put your tin hat on for criticism in summer when he goes for no.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Tom, this should have been sorted out, if not 12 months ago, 6 months ago. This shouldn't be a conversation now. I can't believe we've still not learned as a football club. If you were going to sell him, you should have sold him last summer, like we should have done with Chio. And a lot of times it's like what we should have done with Chio. It's what we should have done with a few other players. The club have put themselves in a situation now where if you sell now, you're not going to get enough money. And if you keep him, you've lost out on any money anyway. So I can't believe the club's still not learned about this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened with the Chio one, but it felt like more of a we'll probably earn more money if we stay up, and we've got more chance of staying up with him there. So, I mean, I think that's different. But, yeah, I mean, we don't do it enough. I mean, Humphreys is in a similar situation where he's out of contract in the summer. I can't imagine him signing either. But, yeah, I mean, we dangle a contract in front of most of these players. It's not like we're not smart enough and sort of they don't want to sign it. We have the conversation about, look, would you re-sign? We had it with Rathbone. I'm pretty sure we had it with Hacks around the same time of would you sign it, and they say theoretically yeah. We then mess about because we're not in a right place, or it's unfair to give him a contract when we're in the relegation zone, or whatever Evans's excuses were, and previous management's excuses were. And then by the time it comes around to signing, you're in a position where, well, look, I can leave either now or in 6 months. And it doesn't really, I'm here for a max of 6 months and it doesn't really affect me. And you're not going to sign a contract at that point. It felt like Victor signed a contract because he wanted the club to get some money. But realistically, if you're an agent, it doesn't matter at all. Yeah, you have a bit more of a, there's a bit more reason why you'd stay there, I guess. And I don't think either of them will sign. I don't think anyone will sign, personally. Number one, because I don't think we're really in a position to negotiate, because this should have been done in summer, if not earlier. And number two, I just don't think. Well, Kev mentioned about wage budget. I think wage budget's going to come into an issue having dropped down a division, but also I just don't think any of them want to really, be here anymore. And that's not a testament against them. That's more of a testament towards, they've been here 4 years. We're not really progressing, and they've got the chance to play at a higher level. I'm sure there'll be championship suitors for definitely Humphreys, but probably Hacks as well. And, you're more likely to leave to go to a championship club than you are to stay in, I don't want to use the word rot away, but, that's sort of where it feels like it's going. But yeah, I mean, it's another life lesson in how not to do your finances, really, as a club.
One of many.
Yeah, it's the whole board. It's the whole board. They're just dinosaurs. The Stewarts and Douglas and all them. They're like you said, Matt. How have they not? Why have they not got some young dynamic businessman or someone with a bit of business nonsense about them to actually get these contracts sorted out and stop? It's every single time. It's almost inevitable. We're almost waiting for it to happen. And these players like Hacks, he could drop down to League Two and earn more than he's on now. And even even the conference. York City's just paid 350 grand for a player. He's probably on more than most of our players. We're just not a well-run club at the minute, and it's a shame to see.
Yeah. Ryan Thompson says, how much of the club situation is down to player, though? Maybe they don't want to sign or want to see where the club's at. They'll want the situation because they'll make more of it. I would agree if this was the first time it happened, Ryan, or the second time it happened, I'd say you probably got a point that could be the case. This has happened countless times at this club, really. You should have learnt a lesson by now that football is done in a certain way, which we're not doing very well at, basically. Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Let's move back to Saturday, Kev. What do you want to see on Saturday in terms of would you go? How close to the Huddersfield lineup would you go? Would it be the same, or would you be tempted to tweak anything?
Yeah, I keep it exactly the same. I think we just like we said a few times now. We've seen a bit of style and a bit of tactics. Still way off where we should be, but we're seeing something. So he's got to. I think we're all in agree that starting 11, what we've had for the last 2 games now, apart from at Williams, I think we're one change. That's pretty much the strongest team. I think Evans has laid his cards on his table. That's the strongest team. So I can't see how we can change it. I would like to see probably still a bit more free flowing football. Bit like keeping back to Huddersfield first half. The amount of space they had in that midfield and wide was scary at times. And I was looking around, and it sounds awful. I don't see anybody on that pitch who could have done some of them passes what Huddersfield players were doing. It's a concern, but maybe that's not our style of play. But for me, Saturday, he's just got to stick to it, stick to his guns, try and build on what we've just had last 2 or 3 games, and try and take. Like I said, Bolton there for taking. That is a very winnable game on Saturday. Bolton are very hit and miss. We don't know who's going to turn up. We're on about Santos at the back. I think he's a beast, but he's also a liability. He's a shocking defender. I don't know how he's a footballer, if I'm honest. I don't. I'd be playing Sam Nombe on his shoulder. I'd have Sam Nombe stuck to his left-hand shoulder and spinning off him constantly because he's going to get so many fouls, pick up so many fouls. Maybe even Santos loves a red card as well. Could be one of them on Saturday, and then before you know it, it's 3 or 4-0 to Rotherham. So play the same team. Maybe stick Nombe to Santos and just play it off him. Get the game playing off him
Yeah. Nick Cannon says he would start Green over McDonald at home, go more attacking. I think that's where the only change I would be tempted to make, Tom, is Andre Green in, because McDonald, to be fair to McDonald, he's done loads better than I thought he was going to do of these last 2 games. When I saw his name on team sheet against Lincoln, I was kind of dreading it. But he's been really, really solid. His set pieces are better than Powell's, I think, for the most part. He's got an okay long throw. But I think Nick's right at home especially. I want to maybe see Andre Green come in there, because I think it gives you a bit more balance as well. And Andre is more like to kind of really try and stretch the game, whereas McDonald kind of fits into a system a bit more tightly.
Yeah, but Green wasn't exceptional when he came. Well, and he didn't have time to be exceptional, we'll be honest, but he didn't look sharp for me, and I think it's still a repercussion of not playing for a year. I wouldn't be surprised if he played McDonald. I wouldn't be surprised if he played the exact same team, to be honest. But yeah, I think we are crying out for that creativity in the final third, and Green offers it in abundance. Or, we have seen it in abundance previously. And yeah, he's a technical player that we're missing. If I'm being honest, I'd probably play. No, maybe not. But yeah, we definitely miss sort of someone of Green's natural technical ability to sort of beat a man and sort of try and create something out of nothing. And yeah, we do miss it. And to get him playing and fit again would be, as Mick said, player of the season. He called it from early on, but he has the potential to be, definitely.
Yeah, he does. I suppose he does. Mick, anything? Are you same? Just maybe Green, or is there anything else you want to see tweaked or changed?
No, I think I absolutely keep it as is. Green in for McDonald. I agree. I think it was Nick who said it there that Nick Cammett. McDonald's an away player. Yeah, that's fine because he's a little bit more defensively minded. I get that, but at home we need to be taking the game to the opposition, and we need that pace up front in that front three. And if you've got Green in there as well, Nombe and Wilkes, it's the potential for a really decent high energy press. So yeah, that would be me anyway.
Yeah, I think I agree. Just looking at the fixtures ahead for the month ahead, Kev, there's some opportunity for some points here. We've got Bolton, who are not in the greatest bit of form, with Sheffield in the Cup on Tuesday. Charlton, who are not a great bit of form. Burton, who are not very good. And Cambridge on the 28th, who are also not very good. There's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to pick up quite a lot of points there to go on to keep this unbeaten run going, put some wins together. Are we saying we should be picking up these points, or are we just saying hope it'd be nice? I think you're on mute, Kev.
I'm not now. I'm not now. I think we should 100% be looking at getting maximum points up until the Birmingham game. And if that happens, then we'll go into the Birmingham game full of confidence and 7 unbeaten, and anything can happen. So they're another team, a lot of pressure on them. So I think the next few games, like I said, the Bolton game's 100% winnable. Chesterfield game, I'm not sure what I'd do with that. It'd be nice to go out to Wembley again, but it's not a priority, is it? It's not a priority playing Barrow in final in Chile. I'm not bothered about that. Winnable games. Like I said, Charlton, they're for the taking. Cambridge are poor. They're all winnable games, and especially with the team we've got, we just need to keep building on what we've got. Try and get out of them 4 games. I'd be disappointed, even based on the season so far. I'd be disappointed not to get 10 points out of them 4 games. I'd be very disappointed. So when you start Saturday, start with a win, build from there.
Yeah, and we are at that stage of the season, Tom, where if Evans wants to keep talking about players, this is make or break, really. If we come out of these 4 or 5 games with single-digit points, then you're out of the playoffs completely. This is when gaps start opening up in league tables. So this is the month, really. I would expect.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the fact that we're still looking at playoffs is, personally, I think a little bit absurd.
Evans keeps talking about it, so we're
going. I know. I think the club is still going to look at playoffs, but I think as a fan perspective, it's really tough to consider playoffs as being realistic. And even if we get there, I don't want to go up personally. But I think gaps. I think if we put pressure on the playoffs, and I think the best thing now at the minute is to keep morale up and to keep this sort of style of play up. Because if you can go into the new season on a high, then I think it really it'll set you up perfectly for the next season. I think we say it every week that. Well, obviously the springboard stuff, but 3 games in this division can either make or break a season. But it can make and break a lot of times in a season. We were saying over the Christmas period, I think we all probably argued we'd get 6 points out of those 3 games: the Stockport, Mansfield, and I can't remember Wigan. I think we all argued that 6 points would probably be fair for that in the form that we were in, but we got 1, and suddenly there was this catastrophe. But then if we win on Saturday, then it's 3 games unbeaten, with 2 of them being wins and 2 of them being away. So it's 3 games in this division can really change anything. So next 3 games are important, and gaps will start opening. But the next 3 games are important for every club, and I think those gaps will deteriorate if you can get yourself on a run. So I wouldn't be too worried as long as the performances are still good and of a quality that you're sort of happy with. I think it should be okay. But I mean, my realistic objectives for the season have dropped a lot more than the clubs have. So I think I'll just accept whatever at this point.
Fair enough. I'm going to assume that you're in the same kind of boat, mate, that as long as we don't go down, you're kind of maybe satisfied where we are.
No, I won't be satisfied. No, I think we should be pushing for playoffs. I won't be satisfied unless we are, and I don't think we will. My view, I'm not trying to tell anybody else that this should be their view, but that's just how I feel. So no, I would be disappointed. I'm disappointed already, as we've covered many times, and we need to be up there pushing for it. So maybe we could take a run. Maybe we could take a run at it and at least have a flirt with it before end of the season, if nothing else. But to be honest with you, listen, I don't want to go past first base with playoffs. I don't want any of that. I don't want to go all the way. I'm not interested in marriage. I don't care. You know what I mean? We'll have a one night stand in April, and then we'll disappear back to the middle of the table, and that'll do. We don't want to be going up.
What an analogy.
To be fair, I think just having a flirt with playoffs will save Evans' season. To be honest with you, if we finish 18th and it's we're 15, 20 points away and we're 8 points of relegation zone, I think that's a problem. If we finish 10th and we're 8 points off playoffs or 6 points off playoffs, I think he can. I think he can put positive spin on that. He'll try to put positive spin on it either way, I suppose, won't he? Anyway, right, a few bits for you. Ref watch. Referee is Alan Young. He has never refereed us before, so I've got nothing to tell you about him, but that's his name. We have won the last 3 games against Bolton, and overall in the last 3 games. Sorry, Bolton haven't won in Rotherham since 1966, so we have a pretty good record against Bolton. We're not playing loads at that time, but. Right, let's move on to the predictions. I've updated the prediction league. I thought I had. Yes, here we go. There's been a little bit of movement. Tom is now within the point of Mick. Joy has picked up some more points. Danny got a 3-pointer last week against Huddersfield. He predicted the 0-0. Kev's 3-0. He's beaten Ben. 3-0 beaten Ben. And I've added a new one on the side. So when we do the scout report, the opposition do the predictions, and they've already picked up 10 points, so they would be behind Danny at the minute. So I've added that in just for laugh. So Kev, is it going to be 3-0?
I think we should. What's that game show where you can play like a double point card or something like that? If there is one, I want to play it this weekend because we are 100% going to beat Bolton 3-0.
Okay.
Nice.
I'd take that. I would so take
3
that.
clean sheets on truck, Kev.
It's happening. It's going to happen.
Wow. Look at him. Look at this.
I haven't. I'll get a prediction from Danny. Danny was meant to be with us, but he has something to come on. So I'll get Danny's prediction. Tom, while I'm getting that, only a point off top here, Tom. So you're in the conversation now. What's your prediction?
My heart says 1-0, but I think realistically it's probably going to be a 1-1. I think it'll be a scrappy game. They score a lot but concede a lot. We don't score a lot, but we don't really concede. So I think 1-1 realistically.
Fair enough. I said Ben went 0-0, and Joy has gone for her usual 2-1. Mick, you got picked up a point in ages. To be fair, you stormed away at the top.
Stalled. I've done a proper Steve Evans run. I have to sack manager. I think. I'm going to go with Joy. I think this is going to be 2-1. I think we're going to get continue this unbeaten run. I think we'll win 2-1.
Okay, fair enough.
Bonus point if Santos gets sent off.
Yeah. Fair enough. We'll take it. YouTuber says 2-1 as well. Nick says 1-1. Tom K says 1-0. Chris Ibbotson says 2-0 to us. Harry says 1-1. Reg says 4-1 to us.
Wow, Reg.
We have had some big wins against Bolton in the past, to be fair, I think. But Steve says 1-1. Paul Rigby says 1-1. Matt Mill says 2-2, as Paul Rudd says 1-1. Let's hope for a positive result. We are positive. Finally, Scott Kent says, thoughts on building another hotel won't spend on players. This is reported in the Advertiser Street. There's plans to finally do something with Guest and Crimes, finally get rid of it and build a hotel there. Mick, it gets rid of the eyesore that's currently there. So that's a good thing. It's taken, 13 years. I don't know if the club ever actually owned that land. I don't know the sort of technicalities of it, but from a town perspective, it's good that that's going to be something. Yeah,
it's part of regeneration. It sort of links in with the regeneration at town, doesn't it? So, yeah, whatever. And if it makes a little bit better money for Rotherham United, it's doubtful. Can't see that happening, but whatever. I don't care. It don't bother me at all, to be honest with you. It's not great to look at, but I don't look at it that much, so I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't care. Whatever.
You walk past it every single game.
Yeah, I walk past it. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, but what? It doesn't affect me in any way. So, whatever. build a hotel, make a hotel, put another cinema up. Make a bar. I don't know. Whatever you want to do with it. I thought it were a listed building anyway. Have they got to keep it in its current form?
It's a B listed, which apparently means there's less regulations.
But there's clearly must be some regulations. You would have thought.
Yes, I don't think they've submitted plans for it. I just think that's put a kind of an idea in place. Yeah. I don't know.
Get on with it.
I think it's safe to say whatever happens, Rotherham United Football Club, not Tony Stewart, not his other companies, Rotherham United Football Club will not make a penny from that being a hotel. Just like the training ground was now going to be 150 houses, it's not going to benefit the club. So I don't give two shits, if I'm honest.
Yes, I think you're right about that. Nick Carr says could keep the Tower creating an indoor football centre. It would have been good to know the setup that Donny have got at their ground's really good with the loads of football pitches outside it. That would have been good. Phil, we can make it a car park, Mick. You'd be happy about that, wouldn't you?
You see, this is the thing, Phil. This is why I don't see much of it, because I'm always looking at the car park. But it's actually exciting.
Yeah, there you go.
Big news going on car park podcast as well soon.
Is that?
No.
Okay.
No news.
Nick Cameron says, is there demand for a hotel given a travel lodge which has not been built but needs development? Yeah, I mean, it's not like we've just built a hotel 6 months ago, a couple hundred yards away. I think we've thought this through, to be honest with you. But there you go. Anything else we need to mention?
No. Millermen. Oh, we done that.
Yeah. Get wrapped up. Get wrapped up. Yeah. It's going to be very cold.
Yes, it will. But if you haven't had it, we put the link somewhere in the chat. There's the QR code at the top right of the screen. So if you are watching, you can scan that, which will take you there, or you can pay on the day if you want to come after the game. So yeah, thank you everybody who has tuned in tonight. Make sure you have subscribed if you haven't done so already on YouTube. If you're watching on X, make sure you have followers or go to YouTube and subscribe. The scan report will be out tomorrow mid-morning time. That's from the Trotter Chatter podcast. Then from there, it's going to tell us all about Ian Evatt and how disliked he is even at Bolton. If you're on iTunes and Spotify, make sure you've subscribed or give it a 5-star rating or follow us, whatever it allows you to do so. We'll be back Sunday evening. We'll have the instant reaction, on Saturday. Might be an extended instant reaction, bear in mind we're going Millmoor, so we'll see what happens with that one. But instant reaction will be out at some point Saturday whenever we get back from Millmoor. But keep an eye out for that. Mick, thank you very much.
You're very welcome, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tom.
Yeah, no, pleasure to be back on.
Top stuff. And thank you as always, Kev.
No problem, mate. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you all next time. And as always, up the Millers.
Up the Millers.
I think I always made the comment that once a Miller, always a Miller.
Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! Good Evans, he's done it again. Another promotion for the big man.
I've got 12 bottles of champagne in my office and we're going to drink them all night.
Do me a favor, drop me off